in jeopardy or anything like that. But like I said with Nicolas, it's like if someone has something going on this time of the year, we want to make sure they're right for playoffs and last handful of games of the season. So yeah, we're gonna keep them out for a little bit.
Bailey?
With Cale's absence, Sam Walensky took some drills with power play one this morning.
Yeah.
What I guess makes you confident that he can continue such a good run that power play one's been on?
His play the whole season. That's the easiest answer. I just feel like when you watch him play, the poise, patience, vision in the offensive zone, I think he's been doing a great job of it all year, and even more so in the games down the stretch. So he's like a it's a right-handed shot. It's we have some options there. Obviously, we could go to Taser, Burnsy, but I just think Sam's probably producing the most in the offensive zone right now, and it's a good opportunity to take a look at him and see what he can do.
Pat Graham?
Go sorry, talking about Monday. Does he? I mean, I think 4 straight 110 plus point seasons. I mean, we talked about this. Has he added anything this year that's got him incrementally better? I mean, every year they kind of add a little bit, but has he added anything?
I mean, nothing that I've noticed like a substantial change on, like in his analytics or even just watching him on a nightly basis. I just think like that's kind of where he's gotten his production to over the last handful of seasons, and it's high expectations, consistency. But like, there's nothing, no one thing in his game where I'm like, okay, this is a big jump from last year in the way he's producing offense.
Ryan Boldy?
I assume Nick's coming in for Cale. Would you imagine shuffling your D up a little bit, or just kind of putting him?
You almost have to, right? So yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna stay with Taser and Sam, and then we're gonna bump now. Now they all play with one another over the course of a game anyway. But like for the pairs, and we're gonna go Manson and Kulak together for probably the first time, like scheduled to start a game. Yeah.
Corey and then Jesse.
Um, we've asked you about the power play a million times, but the the underlying stuff is starkly different since the element break. Just how much of it, like the quality of the shots is better, the number of shots is better, all that stuff. Just is it how much of it is the things that you guys have changed with this refresh, and how much of it is like just doing things like the execution part of it, just completing more passes, I guess.
Well, the change was long before the break. The detail within the change was consistent kind of before the break. So I have to lean like that, the detail, the execution, the hunger, the mindset, attitude, buy in. Like to me, that's on the player side of it. So 70-30 execution side of it and all those things I just mentioned, like over like a change in plan since the break.
Jesse then Arif.
You've gone to McKenzie for kind of more of the starts recently, but it feels like Scott's maybe getting those teams that are higher up in the standings. Just I guess what are you kind of balancing? You're trying to maybe build some confidence back up in McKenzie here.
Yeah, I think that's just sort of luck of the draw on when the games are. I'm just kind of taking it day by day, a little bit week to week plan, but keeping that week plan to myself and then staying flexible. So Bill McKenzie goes in, has a really good start. I want like Wedge has played a lot. I'm confident where his game is at. Um, and Blackie goes in and plays well, and I'm going back to him for another start. And but try not to like just run Blackie or run Wedgie, right? Like I think that we've sort of found a rhythm to our goaltending right now that's working. I don't see why it can't continue to work. I said it this morning on the radio show. It might be exactly how we run through the playoffs. Like I'm not going to conventional wisdom where it's got to be one guy. Like that's not necessarily my plan. Like we start a guy and he wins all the time, then we'll keep playing him. But we like the way both guys are playing, and we want to make sure they're both feeling good about their game going in. So it's rest, it's travel, it's you get a good start and we feel comfortable going back with you, we'll do it, and then we'll get the next guy in the net. So, yeah, I like what both guys have kind of done. Like since the break, like Blackie had the dip there for a handful of games, and now he's back to looking strong, just like he did coming out of the break. So we think both guys are giving us a good chance every night.
Eric,
Two-parter, the regular season finale is in, I think, 15 days now. Is Makar shut down for the regular season or TV?
No.
Okay, and then number two, with the standings being what they are, things kind of progress in your guys' favor. How do you balance like resting the top guys with the fact that, like you were talking about the other day, you're still trying to figure out line combinations, pairings, things like that?
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I'm not that concerned on the line combinations. We'll still look at a couple things here yet. Like we gotta get Nicolas back in the lineup sometime soon, and that will help. Like we can take a look at a couple things I still want to look at being fully healthy. But D pairs, I'm not concerned about at all. Like we're going to get a look at a bunch of different pairs here now, or pairs that we think we may use during the playoffs with Cale out. So that part's easy. There's a few combinations up front that I still would like to see and experiment with, but then if we want to rest guys, then we'll rest them, and that's going to depend on what the players think too. Like if a guy doesn't want to rest, then he won't rest. I'm not going to fight with them over it. So it's, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Evan,
For most of your tenure, like this has not been a good face-off team, like bottom of the league, but this year you guys are. And there's some
Well, we
debate-
were really, really good in maybe first in the league my first year.
Yeah, some debate as to how important face-offs are. I guess have you noticed like an advantage this year of being a good face-off team?
Yeah. I mean, it's helping. I mean, start with the. I know, like analytics, like if you just go face-off wins and then win percentage, it says it doesn't matter. But everyone knows that you jump on the power play and you win the draw and you spend a bunch of time in there, that it helps instead of going to have to break out against a good rush coverage team and ozone play starts, you're winning them, it helps. And if you're winning them in the D zone, you get in and out of your zone without spending any time in there. It helps. It helps the rhythm of your game. It helps you play with the puck. It helps your possession. Helps in all the things that we kind of talk about with our team when it comes to like how we want to play, and that's we want to possess the puck in all three zones and spend as little time as possible in our zone, as much as we can in their zone. And if you're always starting without the puck, it doesn't help. You just got to be that much better at checking it back. So to have the depth at center that we have, Brock Nelson, prime example, power play, face-off wins right now. He's snapping them back, and our power play spending more time in the zone and creating better looks. All those little things help. Penalty kill clears. Jack Drury, I think he went 11 for 12 the other night, 5-on-5 and on the penalty kill. And I mean, all that stuff helps keeping the puck out of your net. So it doesn't go unnoticed for our team. It's a big help.
last few, Ryan and John.
You spoke at the Halo conference yesterday. How was that experience, and how important has analytics been in strategizing for you over the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, I think all my seasons, I've like once we kind of developed our analytics team and staff, I think that like I see it as a high importance of knowing, how teams are playing, how we're playing. It's just an added tool along with the eye test and video work to be able to evaluate your team and other teams and where you're stacking up in the league. It's another way to sort of prevent and sell your vision, your plan to your team with actual numbers, like that you're not just guessing at where you're at. You can let them know where they rank in the league on the year, on the last 10. And I just feel like, big picture, you want to finish first in the league and you want to win the Stanley Cup. But how do you get there? Like if there's any gaps in your game and something's struggling, you want to be able to fix it. Like in order to be first overall or win the Stanley Cup, you got to be the best in the league or one of the top teams in the league at everything. You can't have weaknesses or other teams are going to exploit them. And when you find weaknesses in other teams, you're trying to exploit them. So all that information helps. the experience yesterday was good. It was, sitting down doing a podcast basically with a couple knowledgeable guys when it comes to the league and analytics. So it was a lot of fun.
Finish with John.
To circle back on the goalie rotation, how do you find Blackwood would have interacted with each other, dealt with the sort of split workload? Because obviously any good goalie wants to play a bunch, but you're going back and forth a lot.
Yeah, they're good friends and they get along great. They push each other. They're competitive, but I feel like attitudinally, they've been exceptional.